Hi everybody, it's Paul back again from Ballistic Blood Bullets with day 5, the final day of the Tyler Preston 20s Martial Arts Challenge. And this final day 5, Tyler poses the question asking us what our favourite martial arts movie is. Now, I had a little quiet word with him saying, I can't just pick one. There are hundreds and hundreds, and being a huge fan of martial arts and kung fu, he very kindly allowed me to pick out a few, and it's the only way I can do it really. There are so many favourites, and not only films but stars as well, and we're looking at one of those right away, and that is of course Chuck Norris, and really pleased to see Chuck Norris getting a good role cameo in the upcoming Expendables 2 with not only of course Sylvester Stallone but the likes of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, Jason Statham, Jet Li and so many others as well, and also the return to big screen theatre action of Jean-Claude Van Damme. Really looking forward to that. But here we are with some inspirations for me through the years of watching these movies, and I will come to a choice that sits best with me, I think, for multi-viewings, and a real true favourite of mine, but just to hit on some of the others that they're not even close seconds, they're all joint first for me. But these are some of my favourite martial arts movies, and this one that we're looking at, as I say, is Lone Wolf McQuade. Great film with Chuck Norris, and of course it was the film inspiration for the TV series that later followed, which was a great success for Chuck, and that of course is Walker, Texas Ranger. This movie also stars, or it also has appearing in the film, a young Robert Beltran. And he of course is quite famous for the cult movie Night of the Comet, but perhaps best known for his performance as Commander Chakotay in TV's Star Trek Voyager series. But in this movie also we've got the great David Carradine and the oh so smokingly hot Barbara Carrera. She is gorgeous in this movie. And this film has got a there's loads of great moments, lots of action, lots of martial arts. Great to see Chuck Norris one-on-one against David Carradine. But there's a real fun, quirky moment in this film. You need to look out for it because it only is on screen for a few seconds. And that's when bad guy David Carradine pulls up to an event in his car, and the camera pans down the car very smoothly but very quickly and catches the number plate. And it is Karate. How cool is that? Karate for the number plate. Fantastic stuff. One of my other great movie icons from martial arts movies that I truly adore is the one and only Donnie Yen. And we're looking at SPL here, which is Xiao Po Long. And this is the DVD itself. And of course many people, fans of martial arts movies, will also recognise here the one and only Sammo Hung, who's in this film as well. And it is an amazing action movie. There is a fight sequence between Donnie Yen and co-star bad guy Jing Woo, and it has to be seen to believe. It is really an incredible fight sequence, absolutely fantastic. This was released in America under the title of Killzone. That's a movie from 2005, and it is an absolutely fantastic movie. That's Xiao Po Long. Truly a really cool movie. Definitely one to check out. Now, those of you who are familiar with my channel, they know that I've done videos before for another martial arts legend, and that is the one and only Mr. Jimmy Wang Yu. I cannot thank enough for the emergence of Jimmy Wang Yu and being able to discover him firsthand. He is such an icon of martial arts cinema. His early career at the Shaw Brothers Studios, and then branching out on his own, going to Taiwan, making movies of his own, and this is perhaps his most famous of all. And it is, of course, The One-Armed Boxer. Now, this particular DVD release from Spike Dragon, it's a Japanese DVD, and I got an early and pre-ordered this one many years ago, and it sold out immediately, and it is now a real collector's item, much sought out, because the quality of the print of this movie in full 2351 scope is just top notch. It is the best way to experience this movie, and what an incredible movie it is. Inspired by Jimmy Wang Yu's classic performance, of course, as the One-Armed Swordsman, which in itself is an iconic movie or series of movies, and right up there with my favourites in the martial arts films. But this is the film that I've watched perhaps the most with repeated viewings of Jimmy Wang Yu's, and it is such a wonderful, wonderful film. He is, of course, the amputee, so to speak, the one-armed boxer in this film, and he single-handedly takes down a super skilled martial artist and his freaky henchmen. And this, as I say, is in glorious full 2351 cinematic scope. Brilliant stuff. A true kung fu, fantastical, fun flick of the highest order. Now, it would be completely out of order for me not to mention, of course, the mighty Bruce Lee and Enter the Dragon, and all of his films. Indeed, he truly is the daddy of kung fu, and Enter the Dragon is one of those movies I was fortunate enough to be able to see and experience on the big screen, but also collected it on every version of film format, going from Laserdisc to DVD to Blu-ray that I have as well, and also VHS. And it is a film that I definitely have to mention. It's a great, great film. The choice that I want to mainly go for, though, in answer to Tyler's question about favourite martial arts movie, is a film that I've watched time and time again, and it stars one of the icons of Japanese martial arts cinema, and it is the mighty, mighty Sonny Chiba. No true martial arts movie fan can declare themselves as such without knowing about the works of Sonny Chiba. And there's none more synonymous with him and his fighting style than the Street Fighter series of movies, a series of 3. Now, this is my favourite of the 3, and this is Laserdisc, of course, we're looking at here. And the Street Fighter is Japan's badass version of Jimmy Wang Yu and Bruce Lee and everybody else, all combined into one fierce fighting force. He truly is a legend up here on screen. Sonny Chiba breaks bones with throat gargling groans as this tough master of martial arts. He's a mercenary character in this movie, and it's a late night show classic, so cool that Quentin Tarantino paid homage in his movie True Romance, as his characters Clarence and Alabama share a moment together in a movie theatre with the Street Fighter, laying the smack down up on the big screen. Sonny Chiba takes no prisoners, and his street fighting karate style cracks more ribs open than a Kentucky farm boy machine munching down at a barbecue beef eater. Juicy, juicy stuff, and all shown in glorious manga in motion, Japanese action, club, choreographed Chiba violence, JAC. That's the name of his fighting company, the Japanese Action Club. the Jack Club. But this is just such beautifully choreographed violence. It really is such a brilliant film of its time from 1974, a classic of 70s cinema, and the violence is there to revel in, but not nasty, in real over-the-top comic book style, as Chiba breaks necks, highlighted on screen by a fast frame snapping x-ray shot. And you can revel in the movie's highlight moment of gore as a bad guy gets his eyeballs plucked out by Chiba's 2 protruded fingers. Now that is a sight for sore eyes. Sorry guys, that was one of my cornier jokes. Now let's just have a look at the other Laserdiscs in the series, the other 2 films. We've got the sequel, which is, of course, the return of the Street Fighter, which was made back to back with the Street Fighter. It is almost like watching one movie when you watch the 2 together. But I love the Street Fighter for all its tough as hell, gregarious grit, snarling villains, dark tone, and one mother of an anti-hero in Sonny Chiba. The great thing is that this sequel, Return of the Street Fighter, does, as I say, follow right on in after the climax of the first movie. Now, it was made back in 1974, back to back with the original movie in the same year. These movies are as hard hitting and fresh today as they were almost 40 years ago. Now I can't believe that. 40 years old, but looking still as fresh, violent and invigorating as ever. True action martial arts classics. Now there is a third in the series. Let's just have a look at the Street Fighter's Last Revenge. And here we have Sonny Chiba again, doing his thing, taking down the bad guys, cleaning up the streets as a mercenary for hire, out to bring down evil. But this third outing is oddly flat in comparison to the other 2, and seems censored of its violence and muted of its dynamic star's freedom to perform. A great shame, but boy do the first 2 movies kick some major ass. But it would have been so cool to have finished the series on an absolute high. But it has to be said, for me, I really generally take the first 2 movies as being the true classic Street Fighter movies. They set such a high standard and precedent in martial arts movies. Now there is actually a spin-off series as well that was made around the same time, starring female martial arts whirlwind Sue Shiomi as Sister Street Fighter. Again, cashing in on the title success of the movie from Sonny Chiba. Now in the first Sister Street Fighter, Sonny Chiba does make an appearance as well, so we get 2 martial arts, kung fu, karate experts, one of the male form, one of the female form, and they are icons, both of them. So cool to see them both up on the screen together. There are also 3 of these Sister Street Fighter movies, and the first 2 again were awesome, leaving us once again with a neutered third, unfortunately, which is such a shame and so odd. It really is strange that not only the Street Fighter series of movies, the first 2, as with Sister Street Fighter, are cult classics, but the third Sister Street Fighter movie again seemed just played down and generally seemed to suffer from censorship. It wasn't anywhere near as violent as the first two movies. Really, really strange. I mean, perhaps at this time in Japanese cinema, and perhaps around the world, that around the mid-70s there was just a rigorously vetted violence by classification and censorship. It really is an odd thing, though. Both Sue Shiomi and Sonny Chiba on their top game are martial arts action stars to behold, and for me Sonny Chiba is a genuine superstar of 70s action foo flicks extraordinaire, and this is my choice for favourite martial arts movie and movie star performance, based really on the fact that not only is it an icon for me and so cool, but it's a movie that I watch with greater regularity perhaps than any other martial arts movie that I've got. It's bone crackingly cool, and if you haven't seen it, definitely pick it up, revel in it, thoroughly enjoy the second one, be entertained by the third, pick up the box set of all three movies if you can, and do then stop on over and try and find the sister Street Fighter trilogy as well. But if you only have one Sonny Chiba movie to pick, and there are lots and lots, and we can touch on that on another day, this is the one to go for, without question. The original, the one and only 1974 Japanese martial arts epic, The Street Fighter. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. A big thank you to Tyler Preston. Thanks, Tyler, for posing this really entertaining subject in your 5-day challenge. Looking forward to future ones, and perhaps we can touch on the Kung Fu genre once again. But for now, thanks very much, everybody. Do appreciate you watching. Really, really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Take care, everybody. See you all soon. Bye for now.